I was going to put instructions with the trick, but unfortunately the written instructions wouldn't work that well. You're dealing with two pieces. You're dealing with a bowl, which has been cut and bent, okay? And you'll know why in a few seconds. And you're dealing with a spoon. Now, if you borrow a full spoon or a spoon from someone, okay, make sure that when you get it, you kind of just bend it a little bit, okay? Just say, look, if I go like this, if I go to bend this, I would have to go back and forth in order for this thing to work. You know what I'm saying? For this trick to bend, for this spoon to break. Instead, okay, you see that the spoon is solid, okay? And this is the audience you're speaking to. You see that the spoon is solid, and I can just hide this in my hand when I start the trick. So that when I'm doing the trick, okay, somebody loans me a spoon or I get a spoon, I kind of bend it a little bit, say, look, I have to bend this, okay, get it started. But you realize it's still a solid spoon. I would really have to bend it a lot to make it work. You've got this in this hand, which is my left hand, okay? My left hand, not your left hand, my left hand. All right, if you're right-handed, then you have to work this the other way, and you'll have to figure it out looking at the tape. Okay, you come up with the spoon. Okay, now here's the move. The move is grabbing it like this, so that when you turn this over, what you have here is the bowl, the gimmick spoon, in your hand, like so. See that? And underneath, you have the real spoon bowl. So what you've done in essence is this. See what you've done? Your spoon comes up, comes in, it clips it like this, and does this. Now, with this in your hand, with this spoon in your hand, around this position right here, which is 1, 2, 3 positions from the thumb, okay, and in between the first and second digit, you now hide this and you bring this spoon up. You may want to bend this a little bit as you're doing it. Bend this a little bit so it looks more natural. And you'll get the positioning after a couple of tries. Your body will figure out where the positioning should be so that the spoon looks and feels correct. All right? So here we are at this point. Now, what you can do is just bend it back and forth like this, and bend it this way, okay, or bend it this way or that way, okay, or you can hold this up high, okay, make believe you're holding it, at shoulder length out towards the audience, okay. I'm trying to do this with a camera here, and just bend it this way, and it just bends down eerily. I'm going to show you that in a better position in a few seconds. All right, but here's what you've got. You've got this, you twist it, you pull it off, okay, and then you bring the spoon back together like so. Now here is what I think is the hardest part, which really is not that hard, is you're going to take the spoon and you're just going to press down a little bit here, okay? You know that you got the bowl behind you, the real bowl behind you, and you're going to just rotate the spoon and your hand. Your hand's going to go toward your body, your thumb's going to go toward your body like this, and the spoon is going to go like this. I'm sorry, like this, okay? And then you're going to just drop it. All right, let me just show you that again. You're here, you've straightened it out, and you just press down, rotate it towards your left, okay? And you can either bring it in through here, which is what I just did, like this. Open up your thumb and bring it through here, or you can do this if you want. All right, make sure you don't let them see this bowl, okay? And you can give it. So now the first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna look at the spoon. They're gonna say, how did that happen? All right, and now while that's going on, you hand them the spoon. This hand can lap the bowl, lap it. You know what I mean by lapping it? If you're sitting down, just drop it in your lap off the edge of the table, okay? Or you can get a handkerchief out of your pocket and wipe your hands like you were sweating, and then drop your bowl and the handkerchief back in your pocket. I'm going to pause this for a second. Okay, I just wanted to get a handkerchief. Now this could be in your jacket pocket, it could be in your coat pocket, it could be a white handkerchief. You could be sitting at a dinner table, and it could be a serving napkin or something like that, or a regular paper napkin. Okay, and what you can do is, after you're working with this again, after you do the magic, like this or like this, okay, and you drop it, okay, you can take the napkin in your left hand, or the silk in this particular case, clean the spoon, okay, and then drop the spoon and the napkin on the table, okay, if it's a napkin, you know, and then you get rid of it later. Or if it's your own napkin, after you do this, okay, after you do the, oh, I think I might have flashed there, okay, after you do it, okay, you can take the napkin and the bowl and drop it in your pocket. All right, so that's basically the trick. Now I want to show you one more thing, which is another move that I like to do. And let me just pause the camera right now, and then I'll show it to you. Okay, after you've linked the spoons together, you know, like this, after you've taken this piece and stuck, after you've done this, you know, where you've got it like this, you can take the whole spoon and bring it up like so. You know, you can bring it up and stretch your hand out a little bit, whatever. You can see where my arm is. I'm just going to bring it a little closer to give you the full effect of what the audience sees. And then you can just gently release pressure on the spoon bowl, and you'll see what happens. The spoon actually, let me come closer, starts to bend. And this is some eerie effect for the audience. The audience just flips out when they see this. Okay, you can actually drop it if you want, or you can just twist it and pull it off. And then you can again put it back on, okay, and like I said, I like to do this, okay, and just run it like so, all right, and then you can either drop it on the table, okay, or you can get a napkin, clean it up with the other hand, take the bowl and everything and just shove it in your pocket. All right, and you have a solid spoon which you can hand out for them to see. Now, of course, the spoon looks like it's a little bent because, let's face it, we're not performing an absolute miracle. We're performing a semi. If you go to a magic shop and you buy a magnetic pull, or you get a magnet and you wrap it with felt, okay, and you get a string. A magnetic pull is like an elastic string, and you have it somewhere in your coat. You can get rid of the bowl that way too. You can clip it onto the magnetic pull, okay? You can reach for it while they're looking for the restored spoon and just let it click on there and they'll pull it into your jacket. Anybody who's a magician knows what a pull is. And just use a magnet with a piece of felt on there so that when you do put the bowl onto the magnet, it won't talk, it won't make a noise, it won't go click. You know, that's why the felt is on the magnet. So that's one method. Another method is there's a slotted tie that you can buy with a pocket in it. Okay, at most big magic shops like Tannen's or, you know, wherever you live, there may be a magic shop where you can order from the Tannen's catalog online. It's a slotted tie. If you wear ties, you can put the tie on, okay, and after you've finished your business where you have the bowl left over and you have your tie on right here, you can literally drop the bowl inside the tie slot, okay, into the little pocket, and you wind up clean. You know what I'm saying? Because it's inside the tie. So those are the things that I like to do with a spoon. There is another spoon trick, okay, which I'm going to show you. And if you want to order this other spoon trick, you can. It's the same price as the one you paid for right now, okay, and it comes with a videotape. So let me just shut the pause. Let me hit the pause button so I can go get it, and I'll show it to you. Hold on. Now this one is really great. It works off a similar principle, okay? Let me just show you this one here. We take the solid spoon, of course, you know, you can bang it. I'm not going to bang it on the table because then I'd have to move the camera. So there's your solid spoon. Okay, this is going to be a really great effect. Now watch closely. I'm going to take the spoon here. Now you're holding it up to the audience now. And watch what happens. Just watch what happens here. You can do this as slow or as fast as you want. I like to do it slow. It gives them a better feeling for what's happening. And you can see that the actual bowl, the stem is bending. Okay, so now the stem is totally bent. And you can actually go like that. Okay? And then you can just grab it with your fingers and put it back together again. Okay? And come closer and show them that the spoon is solid. Get a little cleaning thing there. Okay, so now this one is also available for the same price that you paid for this one, and it comes with the root trick, so you know what you're dealing with, okay? This is the gimmick for the spoon bending part 2 trick that we sell. Spoon bending part 1, as you may be aware of, uses the bowl, okay? And I'll show you how the effect is. You show a solid spoon, and you come over here, and all of a sudden the spoon kind of bends and breaks. Okay, it comes off, and of course you put it back together again. Okay, like so, and then you can tap it, and of course you can get rid of the gimmick too. Now, what we sell is we sell the handling. We don't sell the spoon. You can go out and buy better spoons if you want. All right. Suffice to say that trick is one of our. That's the initial spoon bending trick that we sell. That's spoon bending. We don't put number 1 on it. We just say the spoon bending trick. Okay. Spoon bending 2 is a sequel to that. In other words, you have this gimmick. Okay. By the way, if you don't own spoon bending 1, I would suggest you buy it. Okay. And have both tricks, because the handling is what's important. What I just showed you was a quick down and dirty presentation to that trick. I mean, there's a way of doing it with getting rid of the bowl and and dumping the bowl at the end of the trick and showing your hands empty before and after, that kind of thing. All of those things are on that first tape, which is the spoon bending, the regular spoon bending. This is the follow-up. This is the spoon bending that we're selling on this tape, and it requires you to use either the same spoon or something similar to it. Now, I have been having a hard time, and again, let me emphasize this. We're not selling spoons. We're throwing the spoons in as courtesy, okay? You may want to go out and find the spoon that's just right for you. Get a hacksaw and cut your pieces. Cut your piece off one of the spoons that you buy. Obviously, you got to buy 2 to get your bowl and your stem, okay, for the second part of the trick. And again, this is this is the run of spoons that we have right now, which I'm not very happy with, and we will be getting in hopefully better spoons in the near future, so you won't have to run out and buy anything. But again, let me emphasize, we're not selling the spoons. You're buying the handling and you're buying the trick. The spoon is thrown as a courtesy, so don't email me back or call me up on the phone and tell me, oh, the spoon I got was a piece of junk. We're not selling the spoons. We're selling the handling and the trick, okay? The spoons, if you really want a better spoon, you can go out and buy one. They're cheap. They're not expensive. Matter of fact, the cheaper spoons, the ones that are 50 cents or 75 cents, or the ones you can steal out of the diner, are probably the best spoons to use, okay, because they're the most common ones, all right? Now, this spoon has a recess. If you look at this spoon back here, I'm going to hold it up. It's got a recess, a channeling inside of it. Okay, this is not a very deep channel. It really isn't, all right? The spoons that I was using in the past that we've run out of have deeper channeling, okay? So that when you nest the stem inside the spoon, it almost looks like one piece, okay? This is not bad, but it's not, I'm a perfectionist. If I'm going to do a trick, I want it to be perfect. Most people won't see this anyway, okay? Now, I'm lefty also, so you're going to see me doing this trick left-handed, all right? You have to reverse what I am doing, okay, and do it right-handed. Now, I'm going to be using a number of terms in the presentation that magicians know. So if you're not a professional magician, don't worry about it. Or if you're not a close-up worker or close-up magician, you haven't been in magic too long, don't worry about it. Every time I use a term, I will explain the term, okay? Now, let's talk about talking. When things talk, that's talking. We don't want our stem and our spoon to talk, okay? We don't want it to talk, because if it talks, then people are going to figure out that you're dealing with an extra gimmick. So you don't want to do this, okay? I'm not saying you're going to definitely do this, but there are ways of handling the spoon and the stem when you do the presentation of the trick, okay, that you do not make the spoon stem talk, and that's talking, okay? When magicians do coin tricks, you know, when they do coins across, we sell a great matrix trick where we take 4 coins and place them, one on each corner. We cover each one with a card, okay? It's called a magic coin assembly, it's called something like that, that we sell. We emphasize talking too. We don't want the coins to talk either until we're ready for them to talk. We make the coins vanish from under each card and wind up under one central card, which has all 4 coins at the end. Okay, which is another trick you should look into too. It's our magic coin assembly. But to get back to the spoon bending, we don't want the coins to talk. We don't want the spoon stem to talk. Okay, so that's just an expression. Okay, now I'm going to talk to you about, the next thing I'm going to talk to you about is the cigarette, what's the term that I can use? It's the cigarette hole, okay? This is the cigarette hole. When magicians produce cigarettes, okay, sometimes they'll have one in their hand and they'll just produce it like so. All right, and here is where it is. It's right in here. Okay, and again, if you're right-handed, you'll have to deal with reversing this in your mind, whatever. Basically, it's on the first finger. This is my first finger. You got thumb, first finger, right? Okay, and it is the cigarette hole. This is how you do it, you know, the cigarette palm. Okay, so that's what I was looking for. I couldn't find a term. Cigarette palm. Okay, when you hold a cigarette, okay, and you're palming a cigarette or something. A lot of magicians will hold it in the cigarette palm like so, okay, or any kind of metal or piece of wood type of thing that you want to do a production. Okay, here's another palm. This is the thumb palm, okay? Let's refer to it as the thumb palm and the first finger palm, okay? Thumb, first finger, okay? Now, if you want, you can practice this, okay? You can, you can switch hands. You can sit down with a camera and plug it into the TV if you want and just stare at the TV like I'm doing right now. I can see this on a big TV, so I mean I know what's going on, and I can practice this and go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It doesn't matter how you position it in your hand. Okay, it's not that difficult. Okay, I mean if it moves around in your and of course when if you're holding your hands like so on a close-up table, you can't see it. You really can't see it. I've got this hand like so, and with the thumb you may see it here. It may flash, and the reason you want to do the thumb palm is because when you're standing up, okay, when you're standing up, you want to show these 4 fingers maybe at some point look like they're okay. You know what I'm saying? And then of course maybe you want to show your thumb is all right at one point. You may just want to switch it around so people are not consciously determining that you're palming anything, but at the same time they are maybe consciously looking at your hands, and you don't want to overemphasize the fact that you have something in your hand. You don't want to emphasize it at all. You may want to get them to think that you don't have anything in your hand. Obviously, you don't. You only have the spoon that's sitting on the table, and you don't want them to think that there's anything else in your hand. Not that they're going to think that, because their attention is focused on the spoon. Their attention is on the spoon because they know you're going to do a trick with the spoon. Okay, now again, this spoon could be a borrowed spoon. It could be a spoon in a diner. Could be anything. All you need is a stem, okay? And for the other trick, all you need is the bowl. All right, but again, we're not talking about this. This is not this trick. You're not buying this one, okay? If you've already bought it already, that's great. All right, if you want to buy a two in combination, you can call us up at 516-826-3806 and buy both in combination. All right, you are buying the stem bending, spoon bending portion of the trick, which is the follow-up to the bowl spoon. I showed you the beginning where the bowl bends off the spoon and breaks. All right. Okay. So now we have to get our stem. Okay. Recess up. Here's your recess. Right. It's always going to be recess up. It's going to be recess up, like so. Let me make sure. I'm sorry. No, it's recess down. Recess down. Okay, it's been a while since I've done this particular trick. Okay, it's recess down. Okay? In other words, here's the recess in your spoon, right? Whatever spoon you buy in the future, you want to maybe make sure it has more channeling in it, because this is not a lot of channeling. I mean, you may want more channeling so that when you take the spoon like this and you show it, okay, they won't see, you know, because you're going to show it fast, okay, they won't see the other piece because the other piece is covered by this finger here. See, I've got this finger covering this piece here. You see that? And it's inside, it's nested, that's the term, yeah, nested inside the spoon stem. See that? Okay, but you're going to put your finger there, and you're going to show, you know, the spoon like so. See? Okay, you're going to lay the spoon down. Okay, let's go through the routine real quick. It's not that difficult. You're going to lay the spoon down, and you want to get this stem, you want to get this stem into this position, like so. Okay, look. That's where you want to get it. You want to get it in here like so. You want to get it inside here like so. And remember, we talked about talking. We don't want the spoons to talk, because if I do this, you hear it talking? All right? That's talking. You don't want anybody to know that that's going on. But you want to get that spoon right into the recess of the other spoon, which is the channeling that's here. All right? So what you're going to do, all right, is you're going to have the stem, okay? Recess facing in. Recess facing in. The recess is on the inside, okay? Against my hand. Inside. This is the outside of the spoon. This is the inside of the spoon. This is the outside of the spoon. This is the inside of the spoon, okay? You want the recess, okay? You want the recess of the spoon to be facing inside. Inside. The recess is, this is the outside. The recess is on the inside. Why? Because when you bring the spoon up, you're going to slide. You're going to slide. Let me do this way. You're going to slide along your finger. You're going to slide the stem. This stem is going to slide along the inside of the spoon like so. Okay? And then you're going to grab it right here. And you're going to show the spoon like so. Okay, now let's just go back because I went through that fast. I don't want to go through it fast. I'm in the finger palming position. I'm not in the thumb palming position. I'm in the finger palming, or cigarette palm they like to call it. Magicians call it cigarette palm or finger palm. Okay, but there's a bunch of different finger palms. You know what I'm saying? There's this kind of finger palm, there's this kind of finger palm, you know. I mean, there are actually magicians that use their pinky for a finger palm because they want to show more of their regular hand, you know. And I personally just use this. You know, nobody's looking at your hand to see if you got anything in it unless you telegraph it to them. All right? So, again, the finger palm in this particular case is with the first. Okay, now I'm just gonna review something because I had to step away from the camera for a second. We're in the cigarette move like so, okay, and the recess is facing in towards my palm. All right, and the idea is to get the stem, the spoon stem, which is in my cigarette palm or finger palm position, okay, underneath the spoon without talking, okay. So, in order to do that, the way we're going to do it is, and again, I'm lefty. If you're righty, you do it in your right. Just reverse everything I'm doing. You're going to hold the spoon in this hand. Now, you can do this standing up, sitting down. It doesn't matter. I'm sitting down for this because I think working at this particular juncture to show you is kind of nice too. If you're working close up, you can do this trick standing up. You can do it sitting down. You are going to get when you're ready to do this trick, you're going to get your stem. You're going to put it in this position. Then you're going to pull out your spoon. Okay, and you're going to pick up the spoon and have people examine it if they want. You know what I'm saying? They're going to examine the spoon. All right, and then what you're going to do is, now watch what I'm doing here. This is not that difficult to do. Is I don't want my stem to talk. I don't want my stem to talk. So watch what happens here. I'm going to come closer so you can see this. Okay, let me just get over here. Here is my stem. Here it is. You see it? Here's my stem. I may be too close. Let me back up a little bit here. Here we go. Here's my stem.